Hey everyone, it's me again. Coffee in hand and charts in my head. Today I want to tell you one of the most striking stories I've ever come across. This story runs in loops, so pay close attention. Same age, same month, same two people. But every loop, the gap between them grows wider. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
You are 22 years old with $1,140 in your bank account. Right here, the story splits into two different people. Both are 22, both live in the same city, and both start the same kind of job. They begin as operations staff at a logistics company. Their first paycheck after taxes is exactly $1,847. Remember that number, because it matters later. Path 1. I'll call him the builder. His manager is a patient man named Ellis who explains everything once. The builder takes notes and actually listens. One Sunday night, he opens a Roth IRA with a balance of $0. He funds it with $200, and it feels like nothing. But he does it anyway, and that's the important part. Then he sets up an automatic transfer of $200 every month. It's pulled the day after payday, and he never even sees it leave. That's the whole secret. If you never see the money, you can't spend it.
He builds a simple 3-column spreadsheet: income, fixed costs, and discretionary spending. The numbers are tight, so he eats at home 6 nights a week. It's not discipline, it's just math. His rent is $740, a shared apartment with 2 roommates. The kitchen is small, and honestly, he doesn't care.
By the end of year 1, his Roth IRA holds $2,400. He also has $1,900 in a high-yield savings account, earning 4.6%. He builds his emergency fund first because he knows that's the real priority. Now let's meet Path 2, the spender. Same paycheck, $1,847, same starting line. But this guy finances a car on a 72-month loan. His monthly payment is $387, plus insurance at $194. Yes, he needs a car, but he didn't need the top trim level. He chose it anyway because it felt good in the moment. His rent is $980, his own 1-bedroom place.
Having his own space matters to him, and that's fair. He eats out 4 nights a week without really thinking about it. Friday is a bar tab, Saturday is dinner, and Sunday brunch runs $41. He opens a savings account and deposits $100. 3 weeks later, he pulls $80 back out for a concert ticket. By the end of year 1, his savings sit at just $220. His credit card debt is $1,340 at nearly 25% interest. He pays only the minimum, $38 a month. Now, the loop begins again, ages 23 and 24. Our builder gets a raise of $2,100. He doesn't upgrade his lifestyle, he upgrades his investments instead. His Roth contribution rises to $350 a month. He also automates another $150 a month into savings. Along the way, he learns something important about index funds. It turns out the expense ratio actually matters a lot. He moves his money into a total market index fund with a tiny fee. At 24, his Roth IRA has grown to $9,800 in 6 weeks. Instead of panicking, he buys more. Not out of courage, but because he understands exactly what he owns. His emergency fund hits $4,500, 3 months of expenses covered. He stops adding there, and every extra dollar now goes into a brokerage account. A coworker named Priya mentions she's getting her real estate license. He files that idea away for later. Not yet, but noted. Our spender gets the same raise, but he upgrades his apartment instead. His rent jumps to $1,240 a month. The new building has a gym, which sounds great at first. He goes 7 times the first month, twice the second, and 0 the third. He buys a couch for $1,400 on a 0-interest payment plan. He forgets exactly when that 12-month period ends.
The interest kicks in retroactively because he never read the fine print. His credit card balance grows from $1,340 to $2,800. He opens a second card just to chase a 60,000-point sign-up bonus. He spends $4,000 in 3 months to earn those points. By 24, he's carrying $4,200 across 2 credit cards. His car loan balance sits at $19,100. His savings account holds just $440. He has no emergency fund at all, and no real plan for one. He tells himself he'll start next month. He does not start next month.
So here's the gap. At 24 years old, the builder's net worth is around $14,328. The spender's net worth is around negative $22,860. That's already a $37,000 gap between them. Same kind of school, same kind of job, wildly different results.
The whole difference comes down to $187 a month, redirected or not. The loop keeps turning. Now we're looking at ages 25 to 27. The builder moves to a slightly better apartment, with rent rising to $890. He negotiates a 14-month lease and shaves $40 off with his landlord. Her name is Sable, and she agrees almost immediately. He realizes she needed a reliable tenant more than that small discount. He joins his company's 401k at the full employer match rate. That's 4% from him and 4% from his employer. He refuses to leave free money sitting on the table. His total monthly investment now climbs to $680.
At 26, he finds a duplex 3 hours away, listed at $112,000. A contractor named Marcus walks the property and estimates $7,400 in repairs. He spends 6 months preparing, paying off debt, and cleaning up his credit file. At 27, he closes on the duplex with a $17,500 down payment. That money took 19 months to save, and he never touched his investments. His mortgage payment comes to $514 a month. One unit rents for $725, the other for $710. After all expenses and reserves, he nets $614 a month. It's not passive income. He still answers calls and handles repairs, but the math works. Meanwhile, our spender is now making $52,000 a year. He takes a trip to Cancun and puts $2,100 on an already maxed card. He gets promoted and his salary rises to $58,000 each. He celebrates at a restaurant where entrees cost $44 each. He tells himself he's earning points on dinner, which feels rational, but isn't. His car loan ends, so naturally, he leases a brand new car. That lease runs $421 a month. He never reads the early termination clause, which later costs him $2,800. By 27, he's carrying $6,800 in debt across 3 cards. He's also paying for a gym membership and a streaming bundle he barely uses. Before rent, he's spending $1,340 a month on debt and subscriptions. He contributes only 2% to his 401k, while his employer offers 4%. Over a year, that gap costs him $1,160 in free money. So here's the picture at age 30. The builder has $69,600 invested across his accounts. He also earns $1,481 a month from 2 rental properties. His net worth now stands around $134,000 early. The spender had to cash out $4,000 from his 401k early. Between penalties and taxes, that cost him over $1,200 right there. He's still carrying $9,200 in credit card debt. His net worth sits at around $14,000. The gap between them has now grown to $148,000. At a 7% average return, that gap only gets bigger from here.
In 20 years, the builder's money alone could grow to over $500,000. Meanwhile, negative net worth costs money every single month just to stand still. Next loop, ages 31 through 35. With his salary now at $82,000, the builder maxes out his Roth IRA. He also maxes his 401k contribution for the very first time. At 33, he buys a third property, a single-family rental home. It nets him another $440 a month in cash flow. His total rental income now reaches $1,921 a month. By 35, his invested assets total $284,300. Add in real estate equity, and his net worth is roughly $403,000. He doesn't brag about any of this to anyone. When a coworker named Devin asks how he's doing, he just tells the truth. It's automated investing into a low-cost index fund. Nothing fancy. Devin writes it down, though the builder never learns if he actually follows through. Meanwhile, the spender consolidates his debt into one personal loan at high interest. He never cancels his credit cards, though, and that turns out to matter. By 33, 2 of those cards are maxed out again. His salary does rise to $71,000, which feels like progress. But his rent climbs right along with it, up to $1,850 a month. At 34, an unexpected medical bill lands straight on a high-interest credit card. By 35, his 401k holds only $38,200. His credit card debt has grown to $11,700. He has no real estate, no brokerage account, and no Roth IRA at all. His net worth is roughly $23,400. He's not in crisis, exactly. He just isn't moving forward either. He goes to work, comes home, pays the minimums, and the month ends again. Next loop, ages 36 through 40. At 37, the builder sells his first duplex after 10 years of appreciation. He nets $74,000 and rolls it into a tax-free property exchange. His new 4-unit building brings his total rental income to $2,710 a month. At 38, his salary reaches $94,000. He's a director now. By 39, his investment accounts alone hold $487,000. Add real estate equity, and his total net worth reaches $690,000. He still drives the same old Camry and sees no reason to change that. That same year, he hires a fee-only financial planner named Ren. She finds a trust structure that saves him tens of thousands in taxes. Her fee pays for itself almost twice over in the very first year. He renews her contract without a second thought. Meanwhile, the spender pays off his personal loan and finally feels ahead. To celebrate, he books a trip to Italy and puts it on a credit card. He plans to pay it off in 3 months, but it takes 11 instead. At 37, his company announces layoffs, and his position gets eliminated. He receives 6 weeks of severance, worth $8,200 after taxes. His savings hold only $1,100, and his 401k stays locked away. The job search drags on longer than expected, straining his finances further. His new job pays $74,000, a step back, but still real. By 39, his card balance sits at $2,400. At 40, his net worth lands around $58,700. He's not broken. His work is real, and his life is real too. But the floor beneath him stays thin, year after year. Now we're at 40, folks, the final lap of the loop. The builder checks his accounts one Tuesday morning and sees $531,000 in his brokerage. He also has $194,000 in his 401k and $112,000 in his Roth. Across 4 properties, he holds $231,000 in real estate equity. Altogether, his net worth is $1,680,000. His real estate alone produces $2,710 a month without extra effort. He saves 34% of everything he earns. His investments grow by nearly $60,000 this year while he sleeps.
His mother's care costs $3,200 a month, and he simply covers it. He's modeled walking away from his salary entirely within 4 years. Under conservative, average, and stressed scenarios, the math holds up every time. He has real options now, far bigger than anything he actually needs. The spender, at 40, has a net worth of roughly $58,700. But most of that is locked in a 401k he can't touch for years. His checking account holds $2,100. His savings, just $3,600. His rent is now over $2,000, rising every single year. He can't buy a home because he never built the habit of saving for one. His credit card balance sits at $2,400 with a high interest rate. At minimum payments, that debt alone would take 11 years to clear. He's not lazy and he's not foolish. He worked hard every single day. But the system he built at 22 was a spending system, not a building one. And here's the thing, folks. Both kinds of systems compound over time. That's the only truth that ever really mattered in this whole story. At 40, the builder holds $1,680,000 in wealth. He earns $2,710 a month in passive income, with options still expanding. At 40, the spender holds $58,700 with zero passive income. He still needs his salary, and his financial margin stays razor thin. The gap between these two people has now passed $1 million. 18 years ago, they shared the exact same $1,847 paycheck. Same Monday morning, same cracked coffee mug, same kind of desk. One of them redirected $187 before the weekend even started. The other one simply didn't, and life went on as usual. The Tuesday after that decision still came for both of them. It always does. I'm telling you this because every time I share this story, it hits me hard. Neither of these two men is a bad person, and neither one is lazy. The only real difference between them is what they chose to automate. One sent his money toward investing before he ever saw it in his hands. The other let his money slide toward spending just as automatically. The loop is always the same, but the gap never stops compounding with time. If you set up one automatic transfer today, you're choosing your future right now. I'm right here. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.